What's going on, people? Welcome to United View. What's going on? Match preview versus Leeds. I'm here with DJ. I'm also here with my good vibes, better health, better energy, better vibes than the other day. Thank you. I just want to start off by saying a big thank you to everyone, and I mean everyone who's been wishing me well wishing and just giving me messages of strength and just checking in on me, seeing how I've been, because I tell you what, it has been, I'm not going to lie, it has been a mad struggle, and a big up to everyone else who's going through the struggle right now with coronavirus. And even if you're not going through COVID and you're just having a real tough time with pain and you're really struggling, I got you. You got this. And big up to everyone, man. So yeah, I'm happy to be back. I'm happy to have my energy back just in time for the game tomorrow. There's a lot to talk about, DJ. There is a lot to talk about because there's still no Varane, but he's been training apparently. He's been with the team, but we still ain't announced him. He still might not even be our player. We don't know. But there's a lot of positivity though because the season's back. How you feeling, man?
Bro, I'm good. It was sad to hear that you came down with COVID, but you're back in full effect, giving the people what they want, and that's the main thing. And yeah, just kind of echoing what you've been saying. Shout out to everybody that may be having a hard time, watching these videos and supporting Man United. I know it's hard sometimes, but if you support Man United, hopefully we can get you through the season, man. Get you through the season and get the good vibes going. So big up everyone.
There you go. Kicking off as well tomorrow with a win as well be a great way to start the season, especially because the Lukaku deals happened, the Jack Grealish deals happened. Things are picking up pace, and obviously we all want the central midfielder. Whether we do get them or not, I don't know. I don't think he's looking great, to be honest. But I want to talk a little bit about that, though. I want to talk a little bit about what would happen if we don't get what we need. Is it an excuse to say that we shouldn't challenge? I don't think it is. I really don't think it is. But tomorrow, this is the Manchester United versus Leeds game. This is the first match preview of the United View. So big up to everyone. This is and it's time to get away from the kind of exactly. And it's time to kind of get away from the transfer thing because it's new here at the channel. Because actually, we need to talk about the game. What sort of team selection are you expecting tomorrow, DJ? Talk to me. Talk to us.
You know what? I think tomorrow's team selection is going to tell us a lot about Ollie and his preparation for this season. I know he hasn't got all the players back fit, super fit. However, I'm just scared. All I'm going to say is I don't want him to revert back to what he knows, and that is McFred in the midfield. Yeah, because I'm hearing that Fred had come back and looked good and stuff like that in training. I would like him to play Matic because I think Matic has performed really good pre-season. I think Donny's performed also really good this season. So them two and Fernandes in the midfield, I think that should be a given. But with Ollie, you never know. I'm actually expecting Dan James to come in on either the left or right-hand flank. Maybe Sancho makes the bench just about. Varane, I think maybe the game's a little too early for him. I heard he's training, but I don't know if Ollie's going to want to risk them just yet if they're not fully fit. Leeds is a high-paced, high-intensity game, so I'm gonna suspect that maybe Sancho comes on around the 60-minute mark, maybe for Dan James, and get a little run out. I think the back four, Lindelof will come in, obviously. I think Aaron Wan-Bissaka, and then obviously Luke Shaw and David De Gea. I think the back five will pick themselves. And up top, it's going to be, for me, Mason. Maybe, you never know. Maybe he might fling Mata in there. I don't know. But I don't think...
You got a feeling, yeah? Mata?
Yeah, man. Ollie will do something weird like that. And for us all across, like, what's Mata playing? But I'm just hoping up top it's, your Dan James, Mason and Martial. I'm guessing that's going to be the team.
Yeah, I think there could be a couple of curveballs in there. I wouldn't mind seeing Matic start the season, along with Donny. To be fair, in there, they look pretty good. But they looked pretty good. However, because I got reservations of what Fred came and had. It wasn't even a half against Brentford. Against Everton. McTominay, same thing. Did McTominay start that game? No, he didn't. He didn't.
No, he came on.
He came on. So he hasn't had a full, even 45 minutes, let alone a full game. Will he want those guys having their full 90? I mean, they have to have a full 90 at some stage. There's not going to be any perfect no perfect preparation, but is he going to want them to have that at the expense of the Leeds game? Like you said, high intensity, high energy. I think one of McTominay and Fred will play. I don't know which one, because I can't see Ollie having the guts to say, you know what, Matic and Donny have done really well in there. They're fit and fighting to go. I'm going to go with both. I think he wants one runner in there, at least one. So I wouldn't be surprised to see McTominay and Fred, because obviously that's Ollie's thing. But I would be worried to see that, only because, not because they can't do it. Of course, we know they can in certain games, and we all know, yes, I'm not going to go into it. We don't want a whole another season of McTominay and Fred. I get that. But I'll be more surprised and worried because they haven't really had the game time. And this is a really, really high intensity game, like you said. So I think one of Matic and Donny start along with one of the runners. Could we see Paul Pogba? For me, Paul Pogba's nowhere near ready. I can't. He didn't even start. He didn't even start against Everton. And then when he did come on, he come on for like 10 minutes in the pivot and then went out to the left. So realistically, where is Paul Pogba at in terms of playing in the pivot?
See, this is the thing. So, yeah, I think you're right. You know what? Actually, I think you're right. You know, I think one of Matic or Donny's going to be sacrificed. One of them's going to be sacrificed. Not sure which one. I do suspect he may go with...
Oh, yeah, sorry. Andy played McTominay centre-back. Yeah, when McTominay come on, man went centre-back.
Oh, yeah. You know what? I didn't even clock that.
Clint. I forgot about that. He did.
Yeah, I just think he's probably going to sacrifice one of Fred or... Donny and Matic. One of them's getting sacrificed. But I just think that for what maybe Donny and Matic lack in terms of the full mobility, high energy, high intensity, I think they have the control of the ball and they can keep the ball, where we're not having to be running around the pitch, putting out fires all the time. I think with them two, I think they're cultured, matured footballers where we'll keep the ball, I'm going to guess maybe 85% of the time against Leeds. Do you know what I mean? And the other percent, Leeds will have the ball in terms of attacking. I do think that the right call, I know it's easy to play football manager on the sidelines, but I think the right call would be to have Donny and Matic in that pivot there. Maybe Donny a little bit more attacking with a license to go forward and do that. And then if, you know, Ollie wanted to make sure he's getting his best players to run out, maybe Dan James does sit on bench and Pogba goes to the left for 60 minutes. Who knows? It's kind of hard to tell which way he's going to go with it. I do think what you do want is you want Pogba hitting rhythm quite early on. You want your best players hitting rhythm quite early. Yeah. So I think maybe he's going to chop and change. I think there's going to be loads of subs as well. I think loads of subs. This is a game for the bench as well.
Yeah, well, hopefully. I mean, we can. It's back to 3 subs now, though. You could have I think you can have 9 on there or something stupid like that. But it's back to 3 subs. I think the front 3 is going to be Dan James on the left. I do. Martial up front and Greenwood on the right.
Yeah,
I do. Yeah. I really do feel that. If it's Pogba on the left, I'll be very surprised for this type of game. I will be surprised, and all big respect to Pogba because I love the guy. But I'll be worried in this type of game. I don't think he put Pogba left wing for this game. I think it's too much for him, especially from the start. As the game goes on and we maybe get a foothold, maybe go up 1 or 2. Yeah, potentially, depending on how the game goes, you could. Ian Harden's a good one here. Said Elanga, surprise question mark and the eyeball. Could we see Elanga sneak in there? I doubt it. I doubt that. I can't see that. Yeah, I can't see that. So. Yeah, I can't see that. So I definitely, I've got a funny feeling it'll be Dan James, Greenwood and Martial. And as for Martial, again, he obviously wasn't great against Everton, hasn't played since March, so that's understandable. He himself, in an interview, was saying, I need a few more weeks to get back up to speed. He's not near it yet. So there's a lot of players who just aren't near it yet. So we can't have we want the perfect scenario as fans. Ideally, we'd want to have at least announced flipping Varane by now, had him in there training, had him in there earlier. Same with Jadon Sancho, same with Cavani. But clearly that hasn't happened. So we know that we've got players who aren't ready yet. And I just think, like I've said many times before, I am not going to be angry at any team selection tomorrow within reason, unless it was an absolute mad. Unless it was, I don't know, Andreas, Phil Jones, it just got very mad. So it got very, very techie. Yeah. But I think there's enough players there. There's enough players there who have been playing in the preseason for us to field a strong side and beat Leeds. You know, of course we've got to be on our game and it's going to be difficult. but there's enough there. The Sancho situation, I mean, Ollie was basically saying that he had a little bit of illness. He had a holiday as well, so he's only had a couple of training sessions. So basically, was saying he's not really ready. He's going to be massive for us in the season, but was kind of saying that he's not ready. We'll have Ollie's press conference later on today as well, so make sure you guys check out what he has to say. But basically, Ollie was alluding to the fact that Jadon basically isn't that ready yet. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, do you know what? I think we said it a couple of weeks ago, Flex. I think we said for Jadon, there's going to be a little bit of a PR spin in terms of he's not ready just yet. And I'm happy about that. Do you know what? Like, I think
you did say that. Yeah.
Would love for him to start. But, you know, the reality is he's not 100%, and 100% Jadon's dangerous. So if he's not 100% quite there yet, there's no point putting him in and he has a really flat game. He doesn't perform too well and, you know, everyone jumps on his back, new signing and that. I think Ollie's playing a bit smart here. I think that's half the truth. I do think he's not fully ready. I think he could play if he really wanted to, but I think he's not fully ready. And you know what? Yeah, put the PR out there. Say, yeah, he had a bit of illness. He's not 100% yet, but we'll see him in a couple of weeks. I'm happy with that. And I'm glad Ollie's done that, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I think he will stick by that. Just a few comments coming up from Samuel Lockhart from the Manchester Evening News was basically saying, as it stands, Raphael Varane won't be registered in time to be in the Man United squad versus Leeds. United have until midday to register him. That was about half an hour ago. It's gone past midday now. Obviously, it's 16 minutes past. Look, the Varane thing. Excuse me. Even if Varane was announced by now, which obviously he's not. I still think it was a reach for him. I've never had in my calendar he's even going to be involved in this game, personally. I think the fairy tale is, yeah, we've got our two new signings unveiled. They're on the pitch against Leeds. They smack them up. We keep a clean sheet. We see how good Varane is. We see how good Sancho is. All in the first game. Listen, it's going to be a hell of a long season. Hopefully as long as we want it to be, because we're going to be fighting on all fronts for these trophies. But I was never in the camp of expecting Varane to be anywhere even near being involved today. I'm just disappointed that he hasn't been. I don't understand why he hasn't been announced yet officially. There was talks about image rights and things like that. And Andreas Roy says, big up Flex. Do you think Varane will be announced at the press conference later together with Solskjaer? Maybe that. Do you know what? Even though the sources and the excitement is gone from the Varane thing. Like only we do that. Like we just, you know, look at Lukaku's reveal video. Boom, quit. Man's got Rock Nation there doing up Jay-Z. Yeah, pissing me off because it was a sick video and I still rate Lukaku. Yeah, Messi, boy, man's crying the first day straight away on the plane. Boom, holding up the thing in the press conference. Like everyone just moves so quickly. Jack Grealish, boom, paraded in front of City fans. It's just what we do at Man United, but it didn't change my mind of whether I thought he'd be involved in Leeds or not, though.
Yeah, to be fair, I think I was on the other side. I was on the other team for that, Flex. I'm not gonna lie. I thought, yeah, Varane's gonna be ready. Do you
think he's gonna be there? Yeah.
Yeah. I thought he was definitely gonna be picked. I thought he was gonna make, because I was hearing, you know, rumblings about him saying, yeah, I want to be involved and stuff like that. But I think maybe just the logistical stuff behind the scenes, you know, as you said, image rights, and he had to quarantine for a bit, time of flights, get into Manchester, all of that stuff. I think that just delayed the process. So I think what United are doing is, instead of rushing it through, you know what, yeah, he ain't going to make this game. I'm sure we can do well without him. We've still got players that are seasoned pros. So, you know, I'm not going to lie, I'm a bit upset he's not involved, but at least it's going to give him extra time. Same with Sancho, extra time for those
just real quick on Sancho. So just real quick on Sancho. There's a quote coming through from BT Sport because I know Rio's done some stuff with him. Yep. Sancho said, "I feel ready. Today in training, I felt sharp. Hopefully, I can be introduced into the game on Saturday."
Yeah, bench.
So you know, yeah, definitely. I mean, look, that's basically him saying I'm definitely on the bench. It is, isn't it? That's him basically saying that. Which again. We're not surprised by that. You know, he's come in, he's had a couple of training sessions. For him to just walk straight in and start, I think would be a massive ask. And also when he was asked about who he was looking forward to working with at United, he said there's a lot of players. The whole team itself is just great. Speaking to Luke and Marcus and Harry, when we were away at the Euros, they were telling me there that this was a great bunch of lads. The usual. They're not going to say it's a shit bunch of lads, are they? Do you know what I'm saying? Tabarez says the great one is back, 17 degrees and clouds in Oslo. Big up yourself, Tabarez. And Sut says 6-minute appearance. Yeah, maybe. Hopefully plays longer than that. And a super chat from Sophia's Football Talk. Big up to her. She says, do you guys think United will sign a CDM in the transfer window?
What interesting theory on that.
Go for it. What's your theory before we carry on with the preview?
No, not happening. It's not happening. No. I just, you know what? United are putting out the usual feelers now. You know, we're happy with the 2 signings, and I know Ollie kind of alluded to maybe one more coming in. I don't see that being a midfielder. I just don't see enough money on the table to get one, if I'm completely honest with you. Unless the Glazers say, oh, you know, Ollie, here's an extra 40 million on top of what we gave you originally. I don't see it happening. You know, for us to get a midfielder, Jesse's got to go for good money. Delo has to have gone for good money. I'm just thinking of players we can actually sell. And Matic, even though he needs to go, unless you are positive that there's going to be a player coming the other way.
Yeah, you can't let him go.
Exactly.
No way. No way.
So I'm looking at the money. I'm looking at the expenditure. Like, I can't see where the money's going to come from at the moment. Now, if Jesse leaves within the next week, or Matic, there's rumblings of Matic going for maybe 12 million, 10 million. Jesse goes plus 12 million for Matic. Then maybe you can do something with that piece to entice or Neves. You know, the lower end of that bunch of players. I wouldn't mind Neves coming in. He's better than some of the players we have. So, I don't know. I think United just moved too slow. Nah. Yeah, just nah. It's not happening.
Basically, we're not getting one. Lewis says, just catching up, Flex. Just catching up, Flex. Big up to you both. I'm confident going into the new season. I think the squad is just vibes and raring to go. Do you know what, Lewis, yeah? Excuse me. Still getting rid of the last bits, guys. Still getting rid. Bear with me. Big up Lewis on that, because for all the negativity that is around, we still need a central midfielder. Listen, we've had a good window, man. And you know what? Varane is a bargain. Jadon Sancho, yes, it should have happened last year, but we got him for less. And when I look at our team, yeah, although, like, forget the manager for 1 second, because I know there's a discussion to be had, because people are going to go, you're forgetting one thing, Flex. You know, Ollie this, Ollie that. Is he going to do it? Well, we'll find out. Now's the time where this is it. When I look at that team, it does fill me with excitement, bro. Like, and for me, yeah, I'm not the fact that we haven't got a defensive midfielder obviously is an issue. But bro, people have won stuff with players in positions like in an 11 or in a squad where it's like, oh, he's maybe not that great, but everyone else did their thing and he just chipped in. You can still challenge for honours. What I'm saying is, I'm not having the fact that we don't have a centre midfielder, so it means we can't challenge and we can't do shit this year. Like, Ollie's got enough. He has got enough with that squad to show me he can challenge, bro. In my opinion, that's one thing I'm going to be very, very strict on. You add Sancho, you add Varane to already Maguire, Wan-Bissaka, Shaw, yeah, and 2 good keepers in Henderson and De Gea. Some people don't think they're good enough to win the league. I do. I think one of, like, especially De Gea, I think. Yeah. Then don't get me wrong. Cool. You still don't have the defensive midfielder, but you kept Paul Pogba. You've got Bruno. You want to bring in Donny, who's a great player. Matic, whatever. All right, you can laugh, but still, man can play. You've got Jadon Sancho, Martial, Rashford to come back, Cavani, Greenwood. Like, bro, like, you've got a challenge with that team. So regardless of the defensive mid.
Yeah,
for me.
You know what? I fully see where you're coming from. For me, it's just, when you look at our rivals, like, they have a strong player in that position that dictates the play. Maybe even a couple of players that can dictate the play or destroy the play. So it's like, when we look at what we've got in that specific role, yeah. Matic, if he was, and then everyone says it, if Matic was what? I don't know, 28, 27, it'd be great. It'd be great stuff. The fact is, he's not in it. He's older than that. And then you look at kind of McTominay, high energy, yeah, he's decent going forward. He can travel with the ball decent, but in terms of screening the back four and playing out from the back, he's limited. Fred, kind of similar, limited. So it's like, if we're to, I know challenging is one thing, but to win it, That's what we want. We want to win it. To win it, I think we will fall short in the games where you're going to need your CDM to play an important role, because we do not have a specialist apart from Matic who's aging. And Matic, for as good as he is, he can. I've seen Matic boss midfield. I'm not gonna lie, I've seen him boss the whole midfield.
Yeah,
But
he can control tempo, man.
we control that.
Even
But
now at
then,
this age, he can.
exactly. But then when it's against the big boys now, you can only do so much. That's only. Do you know what I mean? You can only do so much. So if you've got a younger guy come in, prime CDM, then I think we could definitely push on and maybe get a title. I'm not saying we can't win a title this year. I think we can have a good shot.
We've got to believe we can. I think we've got to say, you know what, yeah. And look, this isn't me being deluded. I'm not saying we will win the league. Of course not. We're not favourites to win the league. Via the squads with Man City, with them adding Grealish and potentially going to add Kane, Lukaku going to Chelsea. I get it, of course. But what I'm saying is, you can't. I will not just look at my squad and say there's no chance we could win the league. I refuse to do it.
Yeah,
I don't know, mate. I refuse to do it, bro. I refuse to do it because we've got good players, very good players. That, you know what, we went unbeaten the whole year away from home. If you keep that up and add in the home wins, yeah, and we were top in January, yeah. And don't get me wrong, they crumbled. But they need to show more. They need to show more. Can they get an extra 6 or 7 wins? Can they do that? Do you know what I mean? I think potentially yes.
Yeah. Do you know what, Flex, though? If we look at the games where, because you remember when we was top in January and everyone was like, the whispers are 21 and 21. Like the whispers were coming that year. And I know KG was big on that. Big up KG. Yeah. I think the games that we either drew or lost wasn't because of a CDM issue. It was a defensive issue. So maybe there is something in our midfield is decent to hang with the big boys. It's not our preferred midfield as fans, but
no, it's got results over a lot of big boys, over a lot of teams where we're saying like they're not good enough. And I know again, you can choose to look at this in many different ways in it. There's so many ways to look at this. But the midfield is not so inferior that it can't compete against a very good midfield, because we've seen it do it. We've seen us win games, bro, big games with the subpar players. I'm not saying that. And I'm not saying that it's fine, leave them there, we don't need to improve. But what I'm saying is the fact that improvement hasn't come yet, I'm not willing to give Ollie the free pass to say, nah, you can't challenge with that. Yes, you can challenge with that. You basically, you was in a position to challenge last year without Varane, without Sancho, without the experience of actually getting to the final and nearly getting there. So now you've got to go one further. There's no excuses to not challenge and to not win something.
Yeah, but you know what, Flex? I think the issue with the CDM is, I think when we don't have an actual CDM, I think it creates a selection headache for Solskjaer then. That's where the pressure comes, because he's like, I haven't got the guy for this position, so I'm having to maybe rotate 3 or 4 players within this position to try and get the best fit. That's the problem. I think if we had a very good CDM and that didn't perform, then Solskjaer can actually say, well, look, I bought the CDM, I bought a very good one. You know, we're trying all these systems. He's just not performing. It's not really a me as a manager issue. It's the players issue. And, you know, sometimes players and managers want to pass the buck on. So I think that's causing another sort of dynamic as well, where Solskjaer is a selection headache for Solskjaer. Does he play McFred? Does he play Van der Beek, who's, I don't know. I think maybe he's going to learn to trust him a bit more this season. But can you trust
this is as good a chance as he'll have.
Yeah, exactly.
As good a chance as he'll have.
I think he's amazing. He needs to play there.
Yeah. Trending news says views on Ty being on the overlap. I don't know if you saw that. On Gary Neville's overlap, there's a thing that they do each year. It was him, Gary Neville. It's Gary Neville, Roy Keane, and Jamie Carragher. Yeah. And Josh Denzel was hosting, and they have like a group of fans there, and they kind of just chop it up. And Ty was doing his he was just backing Arsenal. It was just fun. It was just funny, man. Big up Pippa as well. She was like, just her face was just like, Ty, please. Yeah. And Rory was there. There's a lot of people there. It was funny, man. Just check it out. But so my views on that was, listen, Ty's allegiance to his club is unquestioned, isn't it? Let's say that. Big up Ty.
You have to give him props for that. Give him props.
You're 100%. Like he does it. Like what people will say, yeah, but you won't say this to X, Y, Z, or you won't say this if you saw this person in real life. One thing we can say about Ty is that he will. Like he saw Jamie Carragher there. He doesn't care. He'll say it. He's like, but why are you writing us off for the league? And Jamie Carragher's like, in a polite way, he's like, because you're crap. But he never said it like that. But it was funny. It was funny. Check it out. Chris Moore says, let's have it for the new season, lads. The team is a lot better than last season, but I do feel Ollie now got the tools he needs to get a trophy or two. And if we're to get a new CDM, even better. That's where I'm at, Chris. That's exactly where I'm at. If we get the CDM, perfect. Then the team really is, you know what I mean, where it needs to be. Then you start looking, if you really want to critique it, need that second right back. But it looks like we're going to keep Dalot because we're not going to get Trips, which is understandable. Can't let Dalot go if we're not going to get Trippier because we need backup. We got really lucky last year with Wan-Bissaka being fit for the whole year. Cavani, hopefully, he looks sharp in his, he's keeping himself fit and stuff, but he's still not quite back yet. But hopefully he can play a lot more games this year than he did last. But I'm where Chris is. I'm optimistic for the season because this team has shown a level of consistency in some ways. Yes, they've shown inconsistency in others, which we have to wait and see if they're ironed out. But I love the new signings and I'm excited. Maybe I'm a little bit more excited. And again, ask me in 8-9 weeks. I don't know. Because I've been away from football for so bad, we all have. It's exciting for us at the channel. We're going to be back out there. I can't wait to see all the fans. I can't wait to see the new signings and actions. Maybe I'm just getting a bit of that new season fever. Do you know what I mean? I've just recovered from COVID. I'm getting a bit of that, but I'll own that with my chest. Yes, I am. Yes. Yeah. If I get presented with new evidence, then we'll discuss that when the new evidence comes. But I'm not going to start the season going, oh, man, that Europa League final, man, I still can't believe it. And Nah, I'm not doing it.
You know what it is, Flex, as well, yeah?
I'm on the positive vibes.
Yeah, for me, I am excited for the season. Starting with the new kit, I haven't bought it. I'm not trying to give no money to the Glazers. If someone wants to buy it for me as a present, that's their business. But
listen, if you want to get the shirt for your own purposes, get your shirt, bro. Don't let no one tell. If you don't want to get it because you don't want to do, that's fine. But as long as you don't feel pressured in it, if you want to get your shirt, get your shirt, bro. I've spoke about this a lot of times because the people who are saying don't give no money to the Glazers are the people sitting in Old Trafford with a season ticket and a membership. I'm like, make it make sense.
Yeah, true. No,
and a Sky subscription and a BT subscription. Like, do you know what I mean? So for me, I'm just really open-minded on that. Fair enough. Yeah. Everyone's got personal choice, but I just don't want to see anyone feel pressured to say, I don't want to buy. I've seen people literally I literally don't want to buy this shirt, Flex, because people are going to say, I'm not a real fan. I'm not a this. I'm not a that. And I'm like, listen, man, if you want to get your shirt, man.
You know what? I like the shirt. I know it's kind of going off topic, but I like the shirt. I'm excited for the new kit, to see the players in the new kit. You know, like I'm you know what? I'm a perfectionist, yeah. I tell you, there's things that I would have loved to happen. I would love to have got an NDD. I would have loved to have Jadon Sancho wearing the 7. You know what I mean? Like, I would have loved to have Phil Jones to have gone and Varane get the 4. Like, it would have been amazing. But you know what? We still got an amazing squad. You're right. We've got an amazing squad. We've got amazing 4 players, young squad, talented. It's just now, it's down to Ollie. I was saying it a couple of weeks ago, down to Ollie now. Like, Ollie, here's the stage. You might not have got your CDM. Still never know, but I doubt we'll get one. But you ain't got your CDM, but still you got a talented pool of players. We need a cup. I think a cup is the bare minimum this season. We need a cup. We need something to show for it.
Yeah, we do. Someone's ringing me right now and they need to stop. I agree. The team is a positive team, bro. Like, it is. And it's got players in there good enough to go make something happen. You know what I mean? It really does. And I just, I don't think we should lower our expectation to not think we should be in the conversation. Not with the players that we got, not with the club that we are as well. Because at what point do we go, do you know what though? All right, look, Solskjaer, we couldn't make him come in and expect miracles straight away. I don't think we've done that. We haven't expected miracles. Apart from people who really maybe have crazy expectations, I don't think we've expected miracles or too much of Ollie. Especially this is going into his 3rd full season, yeah? He's had to settle a lot of fires, put a lot of fires out, calm the situation down, build a different type of mentality, a nicer environment, and get different players in. He's done that. He's done that level of the evolution. Then he's now got to say, okay, I've done the groundwork for the foundation. We got to kick on. And he's not stupid. He's saying that. He's saying, like, I don't think anything's above these players. Ollie has to prove that he has the X factor now, though. The players, I think, with the intention that with the intention of the signings that we've shown great intent. Do you know what I'm saying?
100%, 100%.
We've shown intent, but now Ollie needs to show he's going to make big decisions. He's not scared. He's going to change things. He's going to try and, you know, get us playing more consistently on the front foot. It's down to Ollie. So I really hope he proves everyone, well, not everyone, a lot of people wrong. But like I've said, this is it now. If you don't win nothing, or you don't come close to winning anything as well in terms of challenging, he has to be looked at.
Yeah,
has to be looked at.
So here's my question for you, Flex, and I don't know if everyone in the free seats and that's going to be saying this, but do you think the 4-3-3 is going to be introduced? I don't think it's going to be introduced against Leeds. I think maybe later on in the season when players are coming back, everyone's fit. What do you think?
Yeah, I definitely don't think we'll see it yet. I don't. I mean, I thought we would have seen it a bit more in pre-season. Well, not even a bit more, just seen it. we ain't seen it. I know, again, I keep talking about that QPR game where I'm convinced. We were sitting next to each other. It was, bro, you were there in it. I don't just say it because I was sitting next to you. That was a 4-3-3 in the first half, a lie.
On my life, 4-3-3. I think it was Matic in the middle, then like kind of a little bit holding, and then you had, Pereira, and then
Lingard.
And Lingard, yeah.
And Lingard. Yeah. That's what I saw in it.
Yeah.
But then in the second half, it was clearly, it went back to a 4-2-3-1, and then, you know, the rest is history. And then in the next game against Brentford, it was definitely a 4-2-3-1. And then against Everton, it was definitely a 4-2-3-1. So look, to answer your question, no, I don't think it's imminent that he's going to change it. Will we see it? Maybe so. I don't know. But at the end of the day, Ollie, again, even that's not an excuse. No, like Tel says there, no CDM, no excuse, 100%. I've seen other teams. Someone said earlier, you know, City one, you know, had Mendy left back and then put Zinchenko there, won the league. Like sometimes you have, like, do you know what I mean? Like sometimes you have a few players in the team where you're like, they're not quite the levels, but in every other position we look good. You know what I mean? Right wing, we got Sancho. Left wing, we got Rashford. Up front, we got Cavani. Got Bruno just behind them supplying. Got Pogba just behind that with a midfielder of McTominay or Fred who you don't think's good enough. Centre-backs, you got Maguire and Varane. You got Luke Shaw left back. You got Wan-Bissaka right back. You got De Gea in goal. It's a good team.
Good
Don't tell me that we can't do nothing because there's no CDM.
No, you're right. And you know what? Yeah. As I said, I was perfectionist, innit? A CDM would have been the cherry on top of a very good transfer window. And you know, there's going to be a lot of United fans with the negative comments. No CDM, like Fred's rubbish, McTominay's rubbish. Look, at the end of the day, for what it's worth, I've seen Fred do bits for United as well as do bad stuff for United. I've seen McTominay do bits for United as well as do bad stuff for United. So no player is perfect, innit? We know they're not world class, but they're still okay, good players. Do you know what I mean? And you're right. We've got a talented squad. We should be challenging. You know, when you look at sort of like Lukaku going to Chelsea, I immediately thought, you know what? I wouldn't have been confident if we knew that Lindelof was going to be starting first team this season, but we've got Varane now. So I know between Varane and Maguire, I'm pretty sure they can kind of handle Lukaku. Both physical. Varane's the quicker one of the two. He might be the one that sticks to Lukaku. I'm looking at Kane. I'm looking at, again, Varane, Maguire. Like, I don't see Kane doing much against us. I'm not going to lie. Grealish on the left. We've got Wan-Bissaka over there. Come on, man. We got players, man. We got players too. So
Lukaku, can he rough up Varane and Maguire?
Not together. I think maybe if he sticks to one and works on them all game, then maybe. And I'd think he'd want to stick to Maguire because of the pace. But I think with both of them, in terms of if they can build that partnership, honestly, I'm so excited. I'm smiling. Like, I ain't seen a defensive partnership like that since. I don't know when, innit? Like that's mad. Like, we got Maguire, good England player, and you got Varane, world class next to him, and Luke Shaw.
It's got the recipe. It's got the recipe for a real nice cake.
Ingredients.
You know what I mean? It does. It has the ingredients. We're nearly 1,000 people watching, guys. So let's push over that mark and smash the like button. Hit the subscribe button as well. Road to 65k, and obviously road to 100k. This season's going to be crazy, and we're very, very close to it. We're less than 24 hours away. Well, actually, probably we're 6 minutes away from being 24 hours away. That's what we are, and I can't wait for tomorrow. I really can't. Obviously, I'm going to the game. Can't wait to see the fans. Can't wait to see the players, and hopefully get that win as well. In terms of the game tomorrow, though, I think we have to be really careful though, because Leeds obviously will be vexed from us battering them 6-2. and rightly so. It's a derby. Yeah. It is the first game back. They're going to be at it, and we can't just assume that we will, you know what I mean, just roll them over. We got to earn the right to play against Leeds. You always have to earn your right to play against Leeds. You know, hopefully they have an off day and it's a very comfortable day for us. But I don't think it will be easy light work like some think. But who knows? You never know with the first day of the season, innit? But it is going to be a tough game though. Or do you think it will?
I think it's going to be a really blood and guts game, and I think Leeds are going to come out the blocks flying at us. And it's going to be about obviously the players, the players that are fit. But I think it's about the game management. They're going to come flying out the blocks. Ollie might choose for us to sit back a bit first for the first 20 minutes, stifle them a bit, and then hit them on the break. But I think that's what they're going to try and do to us. I think they're just going to hit us on the break all the time.
I was going to say, can you even afford to do that against Leeds? Leeds, they just only know one way of playing.
Exactly. So we're gonna have to use their strengths against them. I think that's the way. And I think Ollie's smart enough and his team's smart enough to know that's what we need to do. But it depends. It depends if we've got the right personnel to do that job, because you always need the correct guys to be able to go and do the job. Let's just hope that the players understand the assignment. Do you know what I mean? Let's hope that they understand the assignment. Leeds is a tough game, as we said before, high intensity. They run all day. They're going to be in your face. And you're not going to get breathers behind the ball. You're not going to get no breaks. So it's either we need to hit them and score early and just calm the nerves. So I think there's going to be some nerves as well. And as I said, if we are going to introduce Jadon, I don't want to see him near the touchline until around the 60th minute, man. At least give him maybe that 30 minutes to do his thing. Any shorter than that, it's just
Yeah. Chris Morton says, I think we will have more chance playing 4-3-3 when Varane is playing up to scratch. He might start 4-2-3-1 against Leeds. Real good point, Chris. I agree. And Gridara says, CDM can't be an excuse. We have won titles with Evans, Anderson, and even the De Silva brothers playing in midfield. We don't need oil money to buy titles. Listen, I agree. If we got enough skill set with the coaching staff and the manager, you can make the best out of a bad situation. If you haven't quite got your CDM, but you've got a bunch of centre midfielders, make it work. You've added Sancho, you've added Varane. I don't want to hear like the reason why we can't win it is because we ain't got this one player. Nah. I'm not with the players that we've got. That I feel is just kind of like it's a cop out. I feel like that's bottling it to say I don't really want to say like we should be doing better than this. Nah, like say it. We should.
You know the maddest thing though, Flex, yeah? And I think me and my mum, big up my mum, man, one of the biggest Man United fans that ever walked the earth, yeah? Me and her was having a conversation like this. And I said, Mum, do you think, that this is going to be Ollie's most important season? Because if you really think about it, since he's got in the job, every game of every season has been, he needs to win it for his career. The pressure's mad on him, it's mad. Do you think this is his most
The pressure is 100%. 100%. I think he's got, because this is why it is, yeah? Not because of the obvious, if it goes to absolute shit, then and you lose loads of games back to back, you get sacked. Obviously, that's always a thing that can happen to any manager. I'm not saying that's to Ollie. But in Ollie, in terms of his evolution and his development and where he is at as Man United manager, like I said, he's gone through the stages at the right times, in my opinion. Settle everything down, put the fires out. Cool. Get rid of players who don't want to be here. Work out what direction you want to go in. Start improving the types of our recruitment, which has definitely happened. You can say we still take long to announce players and we're still not there yet and all of this. The fact is that since Ollie's come in, he spent over £400 million. He's bought Wan-Bissaka, Harry Maguire, Bruno Fernandes, Cavani on a free, Jadon Sancho, Rafael Varane. Them 6 players. Donny van de Beek, 7. Yeah. Dan James, you add Dan James in. He's got Ahmad for £35 million, who looks really good. So he's bought, man. Yeah. Good players. And a lot of those players are starting as well. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And when you add Sancho and Varane, they will be starting. So he's made like 6 changes to the starting 11. Boom, in 3 years. Yeah. So he's done the steps. Then on top of that, back-to-back Champions League qualifications, which wasn't happening before. Is that bar too low for Man United? Of course it is. But it was a bar that we had to surpass to get back to some sort of consistency. You can't just go from not getting in the Champions League consistently and not doing anything to just then all of a sudden you just are there. It's the process because we were that bad. So that, you know, you can't laud him too much for doing that because obviously that's where we want to be. But we have to see. And on top of that, we have to also say now you've got third, you got second, then first. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Or in it, or you got quarterfinals, semi-finals, went out, then you got to a final, you lost. So now what's better? The fact that you need to go one further. So I'm there for that. I'm here for that. No excuses.
Yeah, I think with Ollie, I think where he lets himself down, and I'm Ollie in for those that might not know. I'm definitely Ollie in. Been Ollie in from the get-go. I just think where he lets himself down though is, you know, those key decisions in the big games. It's kind of like where we need a little bit of creative from the manager, like a creative mind. Like, actually, let me change it a bit and respond to this team that's attacking me, or let me change the system around a little bit. He doesn't do that. And last season he didn't use his bench, and I think that's where the criticism comes in for him. You know, like usually I'd think, you know, Ollie's a good manager. The man management's on point. You know, he doesn't throw his players under the bus. There's a few rare clips of him literally tearing into players on the touchline, which I've never seen him like that before. And I'm like, wow. Like, I think he tore into like Aaron Wan-Bissaka last season, absolutely going mad at him. Literally, he said something like, "Right, you're off if you do that again." Like,
yeah, that was Jesse.
That. Was it Jesse or?
That was Jesse against City.
Yeah, Jesse. Yeah.
I
have to respect it. Like, that's what we've wanted from a manager that's going to take no nonsense, and he chooses the right moments when to do that, and he doesn't throw his players under the bus. However, it's just when it's those big important games, when the lights are shining, he tends to just try play it safe. Now we need to see an evolution of his management style. He's got better players now, so hopefully this season we're going to see those little nuances that he had before maybe changing for the positive. And you know, I all up to the guy, but I'm a realist. If we don't perform this season, if we don't either improve on second place, or we don't get a final, or we don't get a cup, we know what conversation there needs to be had, innit? But let's not have it now. Yeah. But at the end of the season, we know what needs to be done.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. We'll learn a lot. We'll learn a lot from Ollie this year. I think there's a lot that's possible. I like his energy. I like the fact he's saying nothing is beyond these players. They've just, you know, or he said we as a collective, we just got to show it, which I know is cliche. I know it's cliche, but it's the truth though. Like, if them players can get that consistency, they're good enough to win big stuff. They are. Yes, there's still additions to make us really the perfect team. Who's the perfect team though? Do you know what I mean? Apart from City, you know what I mean? Like, there's always a couple of players in there. Even PSG now. PSG is probably the perfect team now. Yeah. But and let's see if they win everything they're supposed to win with the perfect team. It doesn't always work like that. Is what I'm saying. Do you know what I mean? So, you know, let's see. Ollie's press conference is starting soon. We could probably, do you know what? Probably could have. I've been so out of sync. We probably should have started the show a little bit later and got his quotes in and stuff like that. So apologies for that. But I was just gassed to be back. I just wanted to be back, get the first show done, get the preview done, and just big up everyone. Do you know what I'm saying? As Nzozi says there, big up flexing your fight against COVID. Yeah, 100%. One that I think I've won. Touch wood. And yeah, to finish off, big up to anyone struggling right now. I've got some people, some friends of mine who are really going through it. Big up yourself. Just, you know, you got this. You got this. Trust me. DJ, give me, before we go, give me a score prediction tomorrow.
I'm going to go with a 2-2.
Oh, DJ.
I'm going to go with a 2-2. Leeds are a problem.
Why?
Man. Because the way they play and our fitness levels at the moment, we'll probably scrape a 2-2 with them. I think they'll score first. We'll have to do our United thing that we usually do, come back. And then it's going to be like a bit cagey towards the end. And yeah, I just think it's going to be a 2-2. I could be well surprised. You know, I was going to go with maybe a 1-0 United, get the goal and then just sit back, literally just sit back for the whole game. Because I think a win's important. The 3 points is important. But we've got to show respect to Leeds. They're not a Mickey Mouse team. Do you know what I mean? So I'm gonna say 2-2. That's my safe bet. I reckon we will draw that one.
I didn't expect you to say that. I'm not gonna lie. I'm going 2-0, bro. 2-0 win. Right. I think we will. I think the players will want to show that they have intent of starting well. I think that for all the nerves that we've got and the two players, obviously Sancho and Varane not being there, and the anti-climax, I think the players will make up for it with a good performance, solid performance, and a clean sheet. And you know what? Because football's got a funny way of working. All the talk's been about Varane. I feel like Lindelof's just going to kick the door down and say, "Don't forget about me. You know, I'm still good. I'm still all right."
He's captain.
I hope this happens. You know what I mean? I could be wrong. I could be opposite can happen. That's just my gut feeling, because I'm going to be honest with you. I have got nothing but positivity for tomorrow because I'm just gassed. I'm excited. So I'm going to say 2-0 Man United. The fans are back at Old Trafford, 75,000. It's going to be loud as F. Like, yeah, I'm going with 2-0 and see where it goes from there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, yeah. Peeps, big up for watching. I can see you guys with your predictions in the chat as well. Fans are back in the ground. 2-0 United. 2-2 is more realistic. Man United 2, Leeds 0, says TLM Glory. Start of the season, boys, 4-0 FC, says Swifty95. Rested Bruno is different, says Tell. 5-0 Man United. Leeds is very good, but we win 4-0. Wow. So very mixed. Not a lot of people saying we're going to lose or anything like that. Anthony says 2-0 United as well. And Shalil says we win 4-1. So mixed bag. Anyway, guys, thanks everyone for watching. Smash a like on the video. Subscribe if you lot are new. And I will see you tomorrow for road trip on the way up to the game. And we will see you obviously as well with the fan reaction after the game. We are out of it. Peace.